Hi sweet boys! I am back on a different channel with different videos because I used to make videos and then I had a huge breakdown and deleted everything. Today isn't going to be what I used to do, where I used to just like shit on people, which was great. Today's like actual trans talking about trans things and not like preachy. Like, I'm going to try and be useful, I'm going to try and be helpful because I've been out for pretty much 2 years now. I'm 18, I'm a big boy these days, and I'm going to see if I can help a few of my fellow boys out. So here we go. Here are some big trans passing tips that I hope you can use. The first obvious one is binding. It's very important that you get a good binder. Underworks and GC2B are very useful. They're like the two big brand ones, and I personally prefer GC2B to Underworks, but it still works, it's still very good. For Underworks, I found that just a large worked for me, and that's what the sizing said, but when it came to GC2B, the large one that I got only came just under where my boobs would normally be, and it ended up like kind of, it binded, but it also kind of cupped my boobs, so it didn't do the whole thing, because if it's a bit longer, there's more room to kind of put the fat. So they always have things saying, don't get a size smaller because it's going to hurt and stuff. That's a very good point. Another good point is that if you get one that's smaller, there's less room to put the boob fat, so it's not going to work as well anyway. I ended up getting an extra large from GC2B as well as a large. The extra large works very well. That's my favourite binder that I own. It's the one that I'm currently wearing. Hallelujah! Something that I only learned very recently was that when you're wearing a binder, if you just put it on, that's great, it'll do its thing. But if you put it on and then put your hand up or down, whichever's easiest for you, you can push the fat to the sides and down a bit, and it actually works a whole lot better. And it's really good. So I hope you enjoy that one, because it would have been useful to me like 2 years ago as well. Then of course there's obvious binder rules. Don't sleep in it, don't wear it for more than 8 hours. Hand wash it, that's a good one. It's very delicate hand washing. Please only hand wash them. It's all for your safety. Don't go for bandages and stuff. One of these days I'll show you my ribs where I used to use bandages, because I now have my ribs, the bones deformed a bit, and I have horrible kind of lumps underneath my chest where they are. So that's a very good reason to not use bandages. As well as that, it constricts your breathing, it's not good for you, it's all very bad. Just save up and get a binder, please. Now I'm going to go head to toe with appearances. Start off with your hair. A lot of trans people have the exact same haircut. They shave the sides and have a long bit on top. Great, it makes your head look longer. It suits a lot of people. It's a very good masculine haircut, and quite a lot of the time, if you're maybe too scared to tell your hairdresser that you're trans, you can just say, I just want an undercut. That's great. As well, if you style it up, like me, if you style it up, it's another way to make your face look a bit longer, which is a very masculine trait. So have fun with your long faces, boys. Another thing about hair, which is possibly just a very personal thing to me, but whenever I had bright coloured hair, I would get misgendered a lot more. People would think I was female a lot more. I'm not sure why. Maybe when people saw pink hair, they saw pink and were like, woman. But when they saw, because a lot of the time when I had blue hair, people wouldn't call me female. So it's possible that it's like colours in their head. They see the colours and they think male or female. But anyway, having natural hair colours-ish, like the blacks and blondes for me personally worked a lot more as presenting as male. I think it's just because the majority of men don't tend to have coloured hair, and when people see coloured hair they just think maybe it's not male. Now going down to brows, which is very hypocritical for me, because I say leave them natural, fill in a bit around the bottom, because women's brows tend to peak much higher, much smoother. This is so hypocritical. Gently fill in like the bottom bit just down to here, maybe make them a bit kind of flatter. Maybe do the exact opposite to what I do. I mean, I personally shave my brows so I can have big curves because I like that. That's a part of me that people recognise. But filling in your brows, because men tend to have a little bit more brow than women, fill away, fill them up, boys. The next one's quite obvious, but I'll say it anyway. If you're going out wearing a full face of makeup, like glam eyes, big eyebrows, lipstick, all of this, people aren't going to see you as male. That's just how people are, that's just how people work. Not my fault, not your fault, not their fault, definitely not their fault, don't blame them for it. But if you're presenting as female with makeup, then it's unlikely that people are going to call you male. Although it is possible, if you contour your cheeks to be more solid and a jaw, do your temples, that'll make your face look longer again, you can look more masculine with contours. But if it's a very obvious amount of makeup, then again, people will say female. That's just how pronouns work, that's just how people see when you present. I always found that when I wore necklaces and stuff, I felt like I wasn't passing as well. I don't know why, it's very possibly just a personal thing, but wearing necklaces for me just made me feel more feminine, which wasn't what I wanted, and I always felt like people saw me as more feminine as well. So maybe try going out without a necklace for a few times, just see how it goes. It's possibly a personal thing. Don't judge me. Moving on to shirts and hoodies and all this jazz in your torso area. My favourite kind of hoodies, very long, because if they're long enough they can cover your hips, and I have very wide hips, so having a very long kind of baggy hoodie, often like an extra large, is very good. You can hide a lot, you can conceal a lot, you know, have a good time with that. A lifesaver is like button-up collared shirts. I hear that everywhere people go to see trans tips, so there it is again. Button-up shirts with patterns, I don't know what it is, but they make your chest look so very flat, very flat, very lovely. Mwah, mwah. Hoodies are very good as well, you can zip them up halfway, you can get them real long, putting a hood up, you look masculine. Amazing. Something as well that I've noticed that I'm not sure why, if you roll your sleeves up to like elbow, it for some reason kind of makes you look more masculine. Not sure what the science is, don't know what it is, but to me when I have them rolled up I feel very masculine, like a big old boy. It's just a little thing, but it can help. Now if you have big hips like I do, it's all fat, so it's kind of squishy, and something you can do is if you wear your trousers in the right place and wear a belt, it's almost like you combined the fat with a belt. I mean, it's probably not great for you and it can hurt a bit if you do it wrong. Don't do it for too long as well, but it's just something that can make your hips be a little bit smaller and more rectangular. If you want to look masculine and wear skinny jeans, a very good kind of jean is tapered jeans. They're much looser at the top, which can help hide lots of leg fat because females tend to have chunkier thighs, thick thighs. So having that bit of extra fabric can take away a lot of that. As well, packing while you're down there, put a sock in your pants. I don't do it all the time, like when I'm at home and stuff, I won't do it because I find it a bit uncomfortable, but if I'm going out and I wear it, then fine. You barely even notice it after a while. I don't bother spending money on one that actually looks like a penis because I have socks. So there's a perfectly affordable way to do it as well. Oh, what are you going to put those packers in? Underwear. Wear male underwear if you want to feel more male. You get up in the morning, you look at yourself and you're like, ugh, another female day, ugh, gross. Put on some male underwear. Honestly, it was one of the biggest steps I took when I first came out, and it was so nice, it was so lovely. Also, they're so comfortable. There's room that you can get them all in patterns, you can make them look really nice, they're very cute, you can get plain ones if you want. There's loads of different kinds, there's loose ones, tight ones, ones that look a bit more like female underwear. Go for it, work it out. It's just a little touch that will make you feel a little bit better. Something as well, wear male shoes. I know, like, ooh, don't gender my clothes, but male shoes tend to be wider and make your feet look a bit bigger. And honestly, when I wear male shoes rather than slimmer female shoes, which I do wear, male shoes just look a bit wider and they kind of make you look a bit more masculine as a whole ensemble. The last thing I want to say is exercise. If you're already quite slim, whatever, just stay there. But if you're a bit chunky or a bit, there's a bit more to you like me, I'd say exercise a lot. It helps build up muscle, it helps reduce fat in certain places. It's good to just overall lose that bit of weight that could be adding to femininity. So that's all that I have today. All of these were about physical attributes. I might do one about like heads and socially transitioning, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna try and actually do these videos instead of last time when I started crying and deleted everything because I was self-conscious. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!